So tell me, what's something that has ever happened to you that you still haven't been able to recover from?
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Okay, this one is hard because even as I am talking to you now, I really don't know what to do.
Carry on.
Okay, I got married a few years ago and it was a church wedding. I did everything accordingly.
Okay.
This woman I got married to is Steve by tribe from Benue State. She was very calm, respectful, supportive. In fact, she's just everything. And I won't lie, that's one of the reasons I married her in the first place, because she gave me peace. For sure, nobody is perfect. She has her own mistakes, of which I also do have mine. But still, we understood each other. Before the wedding, we were together. We dated for like a year, then we got married. And after the marriage, after the wedding, everything was moving normal. Everything was good. Then God blessed us with our first child, a baby girl actually. The joy in that house that day was unexplainable, because that very day I did not only become a husband, I also became a father.
Nice.
Things look complete now, and the first few months later, we were actually happy and everything looked good. Now, here's when things started going south. When our daughter was about 6 or 7 months old, she started having this frequent fever. So we took her to the hospital. The doctor treated malaria, typhoid, and sometimes anemia, because those were the symptoms that she was actually exhibiting. After that, our baby got better, but few weeks later, the symptoms started again. We had to go to the hospital, another round of tests and treatment for the same diseases that were affecting her in the first place. So our baby got better, but few weeks later, the symptoms showed up again. We went to the hospital, another round of treatment for the same problems that were affecting her in the first place. She got better, and afterwards, few days later, another set of symptoms, in fact the same set of symptoms, started showing again.
Huh?
This time around, her hands became swollen, her feet became swollen, and she became pale also. And she wasn't growing as healthy as children of her age, and I became so worried. At this stage, a pediatric doctor who has been seeing us frequently come to the hospital began to suspect an underlying condition. He said, "This is the third or fourth time I've seen this child with similar condition in less than 2 months. I suggest we run a genotype test for this child." I didn't take him serious because in our entire family, there's nobody that has a sickle cell condition. So I just blew him off and told him, let's just do the treatment the way we normally do. So the doctor did the treatment as he normally do. But afterwards, the cycle repeated itself again. Sickness, treatment, admission, drips, and temporary recovery. So since the cycle keeps repeating itself, we decided to try another hospital. And the new doctor just saw the baby, and the first thing he asked was, have we done a genotype test on the child? I said no. Then he suggested that we do the genotype test, but I see no reason why we should be running such tests, because my wife and I were compatible before we got married. Plus, my child is now improving. I thought the doctors were just adding unnecessary tests so that they would just extort money from me.
Okay.
After about a week of frequent hospital visits and our baby became worse, I just told the doctor that I'm fed up. In fact, let them just do anything they felt is necessary to do, so that we'll be done with all these problems of frequent hospital visits. Maybe there is something that they are seeing that I'm not seeing. So I told them to go ahead with the test. So the result came out, and the doctor invited me to his office to explain the results to me. Then he told me that, "Sir, your daughter has the sickle cell disease."
What nonsense is coming out of your mouth?
She is SS. He further explained that the frequent hospital visit, the anemia, the fever were all connected to the sickle cell disease. And he knew that other doctors would misdiagnose it because there are other sicknesses that have similar symptoms to that of the sickle cell disease. So while the doctor was explaining, this question keeps coming in my head, and I decided to ask the doctor. I said, but doctor, before we got married with my wife, we ran a genotype test in 2 different facilities, and I am AA while my wife is AS. So is there any probability whereby AA and AS can produce a sickle cell child like SS genotype? And the doctor remained professional. He said if only one of the parents is a carrier, that is AS, while the other parent is AA, they cannot naturally produce a sickle cell child, that is a child with SS genotype. That's practically impossible.
Wow.
But before jumping into conclusion, he advised that me and my wife take the test again. Fair enough, we repeated the test again and it came out exactly as the first time. She was AS while I'm AA. At that moment, I felt something just switch off my brain because our child is still SS. So I went back to the ward and I saw my wife and I asked her a question I never imagined I would ever ask her. Who is the father of this child? She said, I don't understand. What sort of question is this? The baby is yours now. So I decided to call the doctor again. I asked him to explain everything he told me before, and he did. And I asked my wife again, who is the father of this child? So she was still denying it, and I just stood up and left the hospital. I didn't care about the bills anymore, what they are going to eat, or how they will even get home. I don't just care anymore. The only thing in my head was that my entire life has just been scattered. So the next day, my mother-in-law called and begged me to come to the hospital. Initially, I refused, but then I later went. When I got to the hospital, my mother-in-law was there and my wife was seated on the hospital bed and the baby was sleeping. So the atmosphere became silent for a second. Then my mother-in-law told my wife, tell him. So my wife became quiet for like 5 minutes. She couldn't say a word. Then my mother-in-law broke the silence and said, if you don't tell him, I'm going to tell him. She now said, no mom, allow me, I will talk. Then she started crying. That kind of cry that comes from someone that is carrying something heavy for a very long time. She said before she met me, there was someone that she wanted to marry. He was a man she thought she would spend the rest of her life with, but they couldn't get married.
Why?
Because they were both AS. And their family opposed the marriage because they were warned about having children with the sickle cell disease. And eventually, the relationship ended not because they stopped loving each other. And according to her, she genuinely wanted to move on. While she was talking, it looked as if she was still trying to hide something from me. Then her mother told her, just tell him everything. And she continued talking. She said, apparently, months after our wedding, she still had a few contacts with her ex. Like they still check up on each other, calls, messages. Then one day she decided to visit him because according to him, he said he was sick. While she was there, one conversation led to the other and they ended up sleeping together.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no.
When she finished talking, my mother-in-law said after what she did, she came to my house crying and said she made a terrible mistake and she didn't know what to do. According to my mother-in-law, she told her to just tell me everything, but my wife refused. She kept saying she was sure nothing would come out of it. Then a few weeks later, she discovered she was pregnant. Okay. But then the problem was that during that period, she and I were actively trying to have a child.
Wow.
So she was convinced that the baby had to be mine. As the pregnancy continued, she was so convinced that the baby was mine. Then a few months later, the baby was born. And to make everything worse, the child looked like me a bit.
Are you serious?
And I never doubted for a second that she was not my daughter. And because the baby looked like me after birth, she pushed every doubt away. She convinced herself that she was actually worrying over nothing. But science decide to reveal the truth. Then my mother-in-law looked at me and said, I wanted to tell you the truth a long time ago. But at the same time, when you think about it, you see that I'm not the one that's supposed to tell you, and I think she was right. After my mother-in-law finished talking, the whole room became silent, and the only sound in that room was a machine beside my daughter's bed. And I looked at my wife, and for the first time since I met her, I didn't recognize the person sitting right in front of me. As she was talking, I couldn't even cry or say a word. I just sat down and listened to her. And the painful part is not even the cheating. It was me remembering everything about the birth of that baby. Being in the delivery room, sitting down, holding her hand and taking care of her, the late nights, and we've already created a bond. All of a sudden, they are now telling me that this is not my daughter, that I'm not the biological father.
Damn.
Anyways, we called the guy, that's my wife's ex, and told him everything. He admitted that yes, all of this happened, but he's not around. And with the way he was sounding, he wasn't even willing to take any responsibility. And somehow everybody was looking at me to make decision. And as I'm speaking to you right now, that woman is still in my house and the daughter is still in my house too. I don't really know what to do right now because that child is innocent. She didn't ask for any of this. But whenever I look at that child, I am remembered of the biggest betrayal I've ever faced in this life. So right now I'm confused on what to do. Should I just stay and take care of the child, or should I just do what's in my mind, which is walking away, because this pain, I know I will never truly recover from it.